Hello my friends, welcome. If you're new to me, my name is Jackie Wells. This is a prenatal class. I myself am 25 weeks pregnant. This should be appropriate for all of you. If at any point during the class you feel uncomfortable, please exit the pose and just wait to see what we're up to next. Today we're going to start in child's pose. You might want to have a blanket or towel around. I myself have a couple pillows, so if you wanted to grab those, you could. It's up to you. It's not needed. We're just using this for the beginning of class. As we jump into our child's pose, I myself am going to place my blanket underneath my legs, sitting upon it just to release some tension in my knees. From here, I want you to bring these pillows close, and again, if you don't have them, that's cool. You're just going to lean forward into your child's pose so you can rest yourself upon your pillows. If pillows aren't around for you, you can stack fists and just place your forehead to the fists. Now we're just going to take a moment here and begin to relax our body and calm our nervous system down. Today we're going to try to get directional. See if we can release any tension that's gathered as we've gone through our pregnancy. So much about ourselves shifts and changes. Literally walking in a body that we don't quite recognize. Deep breathing. Very slowly we're going to exit child's pose. Just bring your hands flat to the floor and come up to a seated position. Remove the pillows if you are using them. Hands are to your thighs. I want you to slowly reach your chin up to the ceiling. Try to reach your lower jawbone away. Big exhale, tuck your chin tight to your chest. Lengthen out the back of the neck. Inhale, reach your chin up to the ceiling. Exhale, tuck your chin tight to the chest. Now stay there. I want you to interlace the fingers behind your head and let your elbows drop down towards the floor. Now begin to create a little ball by tucking the chin tight, round out the back, curl the toe bone under. Slowly begin to lift the chin, open up the elbows, and send your elbows back, engaging upper back muscles. And then close in the elbows, tuck your chin, and begin to create that little ball, round out. And then lifting the chin, open up the elbows, engage the upper back, squeeze back. Keep that fingers interlaced. Once you reach your arms up to the ceiling, pressing the ceiling away with your palms. And then release the hands to the floor. Now right hand plants, left arm comes up and over. Spreading ribs on the left side body. And then bring it back to center. Left hand plants, right arm comes up and over. Spreading ribs on that right side. And then bring it back to center. I want you to interlace the fingers at your low back. Lift your shoulders to ears, roll them back and send them down. Now try to straighten the arms and get them away from your body. Now tuck your chin tight to your chest. Keep reaching back. Big breathing. Lift the chin, drop the hands, release them. We're going to come to a table position. Now as we set up our table, we're going to spread the fingers very wide. shifting the weight forward. And today we're going to curl the toes under behind us and spread the toes. We're taking a little variation of a cat-cow. I want you to begin to drop your elbows towards the floor and reach your chin forward. Pop back up to table, toes are curled under, press it back to a downward facing dog. Drop the knees to floor, head back to table, drop the elbows to the floor and look forward. Pop back up to table, toes are curled under, find downward facing dog. I want you to bend the right knee and send that left heel down to the floor. Trying to get into the back of that left leg. And then switch it up, right heel heads down, left leg bends. One more time, left heel heads down, right leg bends. And switch it up, right heel to the floor, left leg bends. Send both heels down towards the floor, straightening both legs. Now keep your beautiful downward dog and just look forward to the front as much as you physically can. We're going to shift to a plank and tuck the chin very tight to the chest, rounding out, coming so far forward you're on your tippy toes. And then head back to downward dog and look to the front of your mat. Again, shift forward, tuck your chin tight to your chest, come so far forward you're on your tippy toes. And then head back to downward dog and look to the front of the mat again. Now look back for your feet. I want you to walk back towards your feet, arriving here, heel toe your feet to the outer edge of your mat, and then drop your knees to the floor. Now bring your palms together, your elbows to your inner thighs. You're going to spread those legs open, pressing them away, and bring your palms to the center of your chest. They might even come further down towards your belly button. Now tuck your chin tight to your chest. We're squishing our bits and pieces here. Not everybody loves this pose, but it does offer much if we can get into it. Breathing. Now we're going to lift the chin, bring the hands to the floor. You're going to lift your hips and bring those feet around to parallel. Now take a hold of your elbows and begin to reach your elbows towards your feet. And then begin to shift from right foot, left foot, swing the upper body around. Go look to find stuff. Eventually find your center and really reach the elbows to your feet as opposed to just dangling there. Try to reach them. Big breathing. Now release the hands to the floor, soften your knees and very slowly roll up to standing. Beautiful. Now let's come to the front of our mat. I want you to take a big step back and then pivot the toes around so you're facing the camera, you're facing me. Setting up for wide-legged forward fold. Looking down at your feet, they run parallel to themselves. They might even pigeon toe in so big toes face each other a little bit. From here, reach back and interlace your fingers at your low back. Lift your shoulders to ears, roll them back, send them down. Try to straighten the arms and get them away from your body. Now dive your chest forward. Begin to pick up your kneecaps. Drop the head and let the arms come away from your body. Big stretch here. Big breathing when you arrive. You might squirm around a bit. Eventually find your center. Now look down to the floor, engage your legs, and very slowly come all the way up to standing. At the top, release your hands. Now open up your toes so your heels now face each other. We're going to take a deep bend in the hips, the knees, sinking into what is known as goddess squat. From here, bring the arms up above, backs the wrists together, cross the wrists, squeeze your shoulders back, and then reach your palms up. Push your palms together. We're going to root but rise. Release those feet if you're feeling them. Big breathing. Building heat in the body. Beautiful. Bend at the elbows, bring your hands to the floor. You're going to open up your heels and straighten your legs again. Now look back behind you. I want you to reach your arms back, palms facing down, fingertips are furthest away, and just tiptoe those fingers back. Try to rotate the shoulders so much so that the elbow creases face the floor completely. Always spreading the feet on the mat. Lifting those kneecaps to engage the thighs. Wonderful. I want you to walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Now look over to your right foot. You're going to walk over to it to create a runner's lunge. And then drop your back knee to the floor and release your toes. Your hips are going to stay down. We're going to bring our hands to this right thigh. Push into the thigh and sit up tall. You should feel your low back engage in a beautiful pull off this front left hip. Big breathing. Nice job. Now release the hands to the floor. You're going to walk it back with the intent to straighten this right leg out in front, drawing your toes in. Feel free to move that foot around if that gives you more access to the pose. Now reach your chin forward. You should feel a little tug on your hamstring. Maybe sink it down. Keep reaching your chin forward. Wonderful. From here, I want you to drop your toes off to the right. Place your foot to the floor on a 45-degree angle. Bring your hands to the inner edges of that foot. Now back toes curl, the knee lifts. We're going to straighten the back leg, engaging those back muscles tight. Push the floor away. Fill the space between your shoulder blades. We're here to build some heat. A variation of a plank pose. Nice job. Now drop that knee to the floor, release the toes. Bring your right hand, your right thigh, and sit up really tall. Now begin to look back behind you, looking for the foot behind. Big breathing. Looking down to the floor, bring the hand down. Now back toes curl, the knee lifts. You're going to drop the heel down behind you and then walk through center off to the left to set up runner's lunge on that back leg. Drop the knee to the floor and release the toes. Keep your hips down, bring your hands to this left thigh, coming up to your little back bend. Now push into the thigh. Feeling that beautiful stretch in the right hip, low back engaging. Big breathing. Nice job. Now bring the hands to the floor. You're going to walk it back with the intent to straighten this leg out in front, drawing your toes in. Again, you might move that foot around. Now reach your chin forward. Feel the tug on your hamstring, your glute. Maybe sink it down a little bit. Just hang out here. Be okay to feel things in your body. drop your toes off to the left. You're going to place that foot down on a 45-degree angle. Bring your hands to the inner edge of that foot, spreading fingers wide. Back toes curl, the knee lifts, straightening that back leg. Pushing the floor away with your palms. Feel the space in your shoulder blades. You should feel your triceps, the arms locked. Back leg locked. Excellent. Drop the knee to the floor and release the toes. The right hand stays planted, left hand to that left thigh, sit up tall. Now go look behind you, go look for the foot behind. Feel your stretch, breathe into it. Excellent. Look down. Bring the hand down. Back toes curl, the knee lifts. Now drop the heel behind you. Look right. Walk through center. We're going to walk over to create a runner's lunge again to that front leg and step back to downward dog. Just take a moment here. Big breathing. From here, we're going to set up pigeon. Now there's different variations of how you get into this pose. We're going to lift the right leg up today. Look forward, bring your right knee behind your right wrist and scooch the left leg back. Some of you might place your pillow or blanket underneath that hip. Arriving here, I want you to sit up tall. Begin to adjust your lower half as you stack the upper half above. When you feel comfortable in the pose, eventually bring it forward. Come to rest upon your forearms if available to you. Arriving here, squirm around a bit. Again, be okay to feel things in your body. Feel free to get as deep as you're comfortable. Pigeon is a great pose. Every once in a while, do some squirming. Last couple breaths here. Again, maybe you're taking it a little deeper. Not everybody loves pigeon. It's a lot for the ankle, hip, and knee, so even if one of those joints is tight, we feel it. People either love it or hate it. Now follow my lead as we exit. We're going to come sit back above those hips. We're going to shift weight into the right hip. Drop the glutes to the floor, the buttocks to the floor to square ourselves off to the front. The right leg is bent and the left leg extended to the side. Now bring the back of the left hand to that left leg. The right arm's going to come up and over. We're going to slide down, reach this right arm up alongside of the ear to spread ribs on this right side body. Reach it up to the ceiling, coming back to center. You're going to bring the right hand down beside you to the right. Push into it to lift your hips off the floor. This left arm swings up alongside of the ear and up and back. Now begin to drop the hips back to the floor. Left arm comes the inner edge of the leg. Right arm comes up and over. Big stretch. Reach it back up to the ceiling. Right hand comes down beside you. Push into it. Lift the hips. Left arm up and over. And then bring those hips back down to the floor. Now I want you to straighten your right leg off to the right, coming into wide-legged forward fold. Don't worry about how far you go. When you have your setup, begin to walk it forward. Again, don't worry about how far you go at all. I personally like to flex my feet for this one. Just do whatever's best for you. Good. Always finding our breath. Sending our inhales to where we feel things the most. Last couple breaths here. Beautiful. Begin to walk it back up to your little seated position. We're going to do all that in reverse. So I want you to bend your left leg in. The right arm comes the inner edge of the right leg. This left arm's coming up and over. Big stretch in your left side. Left arm reaches up to the ceiling. Place that hand to the floor beside you. Push into it. Lift your hips off the floor. Right arm comes up and over. Begin to drop the hips. Right arm comes to that leg. Left arm comes up and over. Big stretch. Reach it back up to the ceiling. Place the hand down beside you. Push into it. Lift your hips. Right arm comes up and over alongside of the ear. And then we're going to drop it back down to the floor. We're going to set up pigeon off to the left. So I want you to square your body off. Begin to squirm to get that left leg off to the left. Eventually, one day you look to get that shin parallel, but again, you have a lifetime to make this happen for yourself. Shoulders stacked beautifully above the hips. When you feel you're ready for it, begin to take your forward fold. Again, if at any point you feel uncomfortable in any of these poses, just come up and out of it. You can find us for the next one. See how that one works for you. Pigeon is a great pose to do some squirming around in. If you can take it any deeper, you might. I personally like to stack fists, place my forehead to the fist, just so I can get a little deeper into my pose. Remembering to breathe into your body, big inhalations, big exhalations. And then we're slowly going to exit this pose, bringing our hands flat to the floor. We're going to shift into that left hip, squaring it back off to the front again, and we'll straighten this left leg out in front. Again, we want to sit up really tall to start, and we'll come back to this wide-legged forward fold. Please don't worry about how far you go. Just look to feel things in your body. We're not here long, just looking to create balance through the torso, the hips, the pelvis. Last couple breaths here. Nice job. Now very slowly, bring those hands to the floor, come up to your little seated position. You're going to lean back and slowly drag these legs forward and just flip-flop your feet around. Now we're going to come on to our backs. Hips to heels, come on to your back. Arriving here, I want you to bring your feet to the floor, hip distance apart, and the feet run parallel to themselves. The hands are going to reach down to the feet, spreading the fingers wide, palms down. With a long, deep breath in, I want you to begin to peel the hips off the floor, lift up to a back bend. Find your glutes helpful and engaged. And then exhale, very slowly guide your hips back down to the mat. Inhale, lift your hips high. Again, glutes very helpful, lifting, opening up the front side. And then exhale, very slowly, hips head back to the floor. Last one, inhale, hips high. Now you might choose to stay here, drawing the knees in, finding the glutes engaged. You could stay here or lift your heels off the floor. Push your feet, lift your hips higher, knees in. Just watch your belly rise and fall. On your next inhale, lift your hips. Keep them there as you lower your heels. Inhale, lift your hips high. Exhale, very slowly guide your pelvis back down to the mat. At the bottom, relax everything. Now pick up your right leg, cross it completely over left so your thighs stack. Bring your legs into your chest and roll to your right side. Your upper body will twist and open to the left. Now take this very soft. We want to try to extend the arm if it's willing to go. We want to send our nose off to the left to complete our twist. Especially being pregnant, we need to be very careful. I find this twist very enjoyable myself. Breathe into whatever you found. Adjust according to whatever your body needs right now. Twists have a direct reflection on your nervous system. The deeper we breathe, the more relief we give tension to, or relieving the tension from our tissues, our organs. All those organs and tissues that those nerves feed. Just breathing. And then very slowly we'll bring it back to center. Arriving here, just do a switcheroo, left leg over right. And we're going to roll to the left. The upper body will twist and open to the right. So extend the arm. Send the nose as far right as it's willing to go. Again, you might just accordingly here see how you feel. Big breathing. You're filling up belly and rib cage. Drawing air in through the nose like there's straws. Last breath here. Nice job. Now very slowly bring it back to center, and arriving here, I want you to flip it open to a happy baby. So stack the feet above the knees, flex them. You can grab the inner or outer edge of the feet, pull down. If it's hard to grab your feet, you can grab those knee joints and pull down to the floor. Just do whatever's best for you. Some people like to teeter-totter around a bit. Eventually we want to find center and pull down. If any of you feel like getting a little fancy, you might even attempt to straighten the legs off to the sides, not worrying about how far you go. Eventually we'll bring those legs together and into the chest for a little hug. Now place your feet to the floor, keeping them together, and we're going to drop the knees off to the sides. Just let your knees be heavy and be okay with your pelvis feeling vulnerable for a moment. You can keep your hands on your belly or wherever is comfortable for you. I personally like to bring my arms back behind my head. Softening the muscles of the face, within the eyes and the forehead, the chin, your jaw, your cheeks. Just let them relax. Big breathing. Try to feed your belly with your breath. Find the lowest part of your abdomen as you draw the breath in. We're going to begin to tidy up our practice here today. Some of you might choose to hang out here a little longer. The other options might be bringing those legs together. We'll bring them into the chest just to release those hips. And if you're comfortable with Shavasana, we'll extend the heels off to the corners of the mat and allow the feet to flop to the sides. The arms head off to the sides with the palms up. For those of you not comfortable with Shavasana, you can keep those legs into your chest and just roll off to one side. The arm can come up above you, creating a little pillow to rest upon. Just taking some time to relax, some time to indulge in stillness. If you found yourself in a nice restorative position, Shavasana or other, please feel free to hang out there. That's our class for today. If you'd like to join me in finishing up the practice, we're coming to a nice comfortable seated position and hands to the center of the chest, eyes closed. Again, maybe you're just hanging out in Shavasana or your restorative position of choice. I thank you all for your practice with me today. Wishing you a loving and nourishing day ahead. Making sure that we are good to ourselves and that we are good to those around us. Remembering it is always worth all the effort that this might take. Namaste. I thank you all for your practice with me today. Wishing a lovely day ahead. Making sure that you're good to yourself at any given time. Be well, mamas. Big love.